We start with a speech that swallowed up primetime and our Weijia Jiang at the White House. Weij.
Major, a speech that swallowed up primetime, perhaps by design, because we know how closely the president monitors that very valuable chunk of time between 9 and 11, of which he took most of, to deliver a historic speech in its length that really spelled out the case for patriotism. If you look back, that was the big theme of the night, and he used that to question whether Democrats have it during many different parts of the speech, and of course during probably one of the most memorable, he even put them on the spot by asking people to stand if they believe that the first duty of members of Congress was to protect American citizens over illegal immigrants. And so that is just one of many ways that this White House is using last night's speech to continue to build, because as you already mentioned, these speeches these days, not only in the Trump administration, but even in the Biden administration, are written to be bite-sized, to include portions that they can clip and post all over social media, because they know that is where they are going to get even more of a reach. So, you know, I don't know about your phone, but mine is just filled with different clips from both sides trying to highlight what they want to, the good and the bad, in their view, from last night. And it is customary, of course, for the president to travel after the State of the Union. President Trump will be going to Corpus Christi, Texas on Friday to try to build momentum after last night.
What is the White House saying, Weij, about the assessment that there wasn't much either new or very few legislative calls to action, which are typical component parts of a traditional State of the Union?
Well, they would disagree with that, Major, because the president claims he laid out a new economic vision, which did include some calls for legislative action, but not many, 3 in total, one including the SAVE Act, which, of course, is to tighten voter registration laws. There was at least one policy proposal that was meant to offer more economic stability to Americans by setting up a new universal savings program for workers who currently do not have access to a 401k retirement savings program. The president wants to match $1,000 a year for those workers. But to your question, Major, this White House is celebrating today because, you know, they really view this as a chance for the president to tout his accomplishments already, in addition to looking ahead. So you're right in that there isn't a lot of substance there, but that is not necessarily their focus either, even though, as I mentioned, they would argue that he laid out his new economic plan, which we did not see a lot of details about. Major.
Weijia Jiang, North Lawn of the White House, thank you so very much.